What's good, beautiful people? Welcome to another episode of Critical Baller. Now, if you did not know, the PE teacher got sacked. Yeah, he got sacked. I mean, after the Brighton game, we lost 3-0 again. You knew that he was going to get sacked. I mean, that was... If you thought Everton was bad, against Brighton, it was 10 times worse. I mean, against Brighton, you could see from kickoff, you could see that the players were just not playing for him anymore. They were not playing for him. They were not jogging. They were not tracking back. I mean, this is one of the worst performances I can remember as a Chelsea fan. You had guys like Jorginho, Rute, and Hinchwood looking like Zidane, and the second coming of Thierry Henry, bro. That's how they look like against us. So, you know, when a team is performing like that, you know, it's only right that they're going to get rid of managers, because you can't get rid of all the players. I mean, there's about 30 of them, and at Chelsea there's about 60 of them, maybe even 70. So you can't get rid of the players. You have to get rid of the manager. I'm sorry, but the manager was not good enough to begin with. If we're being really honest, Liam Rosenior was not going to make it at Chelsea. I mean, me, armchair fan, I could tell you this. I could tell you that this was not going to work. It was not going to work. It was never going to work. He doesn't have the credential to be coaching in the Premier League, let alone at Chelsea Football Club. This was not rocket science. It was easy. It was easy to just figure out. The guy was struggling with a Strasbourg team, which I believe, because I watched Ligue 1, and I can tell you that Strasbourg they have at least, at the very least, the fourth best squad in Ligue 1. And yet, last season, they finished 6th. They missed out on Champions League, while the whole season they were competing for the Champions League. And then this season, they were 6th again before he joined us. So it was obvious that it was not going to work at Chelsea. And on top of that, from the PSG game, you could tell that something was broken. Something was definitely broken. And then you trickle down from there on, because you look at it after the PSG game, or just even prior to the PSG game, you look at our record in the Premier League. We played 9 games, and we've lost 6 of those games. 6 of those games, 2 we drew. We drew 2 games against Leeds United. I can't remember the other team, but we drew against Leeds United and another bottom of the league team. I can't remember. I think it was Burnley, if I'm not mistaken. I mean, we were just not playing well. In the last 8 games, we've lost six games. 6 games in the Premier League. We haven't scored a goal this month. In April, we haven't scored a goal. The last time we scored a goal in the Premier League was in March against Aston Villa. And that should tell you all you need to know. I mean, if a team is struggling like that, they're going to get rid of the manager, obviously. But let me tell you something. Liam Rosenior was not the problem. And the problem at Chelsea still remain. These 5 sporting directors that I'm showing you. These are the cancer of this football club. And as long as they're here, and as long as BlueCo is here, you saw the protest against Manchester United after I did talk about it after the game. As long as these guys are here, we're still gonna have another Liam Rosenior replacing this Liam Rosenior. They're probably gonna go and get Gary O'Neill, or worse, they're gonna get someone like Eddie Howe. And it's never gonna work. This is never gonna work the way this football club is run. Usually, successful football club, they have 1 manager, 1 sporting director. Chelsea have 5 sporting directors. 5 sporting directors who bought this thing. This list of players that I'm telling you. 600 million plus. None of them have cut the mustard. None of them. You can look at it. None of them. You can't tell me you have 5 sporting directors, yeah? And then when these owners walk into Chelsea, when they took over at Chelsea, they told us that, we're going to do everything better than Roman Abramovich, yeah? Roman Abramovich, by the way, was the best owner in the history of football. I don't care what anyone says. He's the best owner in the history of football. He was here for 19 years, and every single year, we either won a trophy or the managers get sacked. The standards was this high. These lot, when they came in, they told us, "Oh yeah, we're gonna stop the hiring and firing. We're gonna do a data-driven policy. We're gonna have a data-driven policy." That's what they said, right? So they're gonna buy all these good young players. Yeah, they're gonna get a manager that will look like exactly like their vision, right? So here we are now. Fast forward 4 years in, they've sacked. Yes, Tuchel wasn't their guy, right? Tuchel was hired by Roman Abramovich, right? So they got rid of him. Anyways, so that I can understand because Tuchel sometimes, you know what I mean, he can rub people the wrong way. I get that, right? He wasn't your man. They sacked him, right? So what do? They go and get Graham Potter. This is before even these 5 sporting directors, I'm telling you, arrived. They got Egbali went all the way to Brighton because he loved Brighton so fucking much. Yeah? Why didn't you buy Brighton in the first place? No, he doesn't do that. He goes and get Brighton after sacking Thomas Tuchel, a Champions League winner. He goes and get Graham Potter to replace him. What happened after that? Less than 6 months after that, Graham Potter gets sacked. Because, like I said with Rosenior, if you're not good enough for Chelsea Football Club, you will quickly get found out. And when you get found out, there's only one way. You're going to get sacked. And these managers, they're starting to love it. Because they know that at Chelsea Football Club, you can come there and you spend 6 months, get sacked, probably get 10 mil. And you go on holiday. This is starting to become really ridiculous, right? So fast forward, right? Graham Potter gets sacked. When these sporting directors came in, right? When these sporting directors came in, Graham Potter was already in charge, right? According to after Graham Potter got sacked, they said, oh, they were never sold on Graham Potter, all that blah 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 blah, right? So what do? They go and get Pochettino, right? And they told us that, oh, you know, Pochettino, this guy here, he's known for bringing young talent, right? He's known for bringing young talent. He can work under this ownership, under these 5 sporting directors, right? So what do? After 1 season, Pochettino's gone. Pochettino can't work with them. The same guy that they were parading, telling us that, yo, this guy is good. He's going to bring some young players. He's going to improve the young players. They're going to get on with him. Couldn't get on with him. So what do? They go and get another guy. Go and find another guy. In his name, this time, Enzo Maresca, right? A guy that just promoted Leicester in the Championship. They bring him into the club. At first, a lot of fans, obviously, rightfully so, because I can't remember the last time we got a manager from the Championship. Apart from Frank Lampard when he was at Derby, and then we had a transfer ban, and then they brought him to the club. But even then, Frank Lampard, right, managed to get Champions League football. So what do? Maresca comes in. Started the season really well. Had the usual dip, which is the December dip, right? Let's call it the Chelsea December dip. Chelsea December, it never works. It don't matter who the manager is. It don't matter who the regime, who's running the ship, whether it was under Roman or these new guys. Chelsea, it doesn't work during December. December, we just, whatever we do, whether we're challenging for the league or whether we're competing, December is usually a nightmare for Chelsea. So December comes in, we struggle a little bit. And then by the end of the season, you know, they change, things change. And Maresca managed to get not only qualified for the Champions League, but he managed to get to win the Conference League. And then fast forward, we went to the Club World Cup and he delivered the Club World Cup, right? If a manager do that, right, under your strict rules, right, where you have 5 sporting directors micromanaging every single thing that he does, right, on top of a medical team that also micromanage every single thing that the manager do, right, he gets all of that, and what does he get in return? They get rid of Madueke, they sell him to Arsenal because Arsenal offered more than what we bought Madueke for, so they thought, you know what, let's cash in on this guy, right? Got rid of Madueke. Before we even got to the Club World Cup, they went and bought Liam Delap, a striker unproven in the Premier League. If you could have 1 season in the Premier League and the team that you're playing for is now in the Championship, right? You're not proven in the Premier League. I'm sorry. And we're finding it out right now. They bought Liam Delap for 30 million. Liam Delap looked like, every time you watch Liam Delap, he looks like a Championship player. I'm sorry. The Wrexham number 9 that I saw against Chelsea. Yeah, Sam Smith, who played for Wrexham, looked better than Liam Delap. Sam Smith, who plays in the championship, number 9 for Wrexham, yeah, looks much better, more mobile, and a better footballer than Liam Delap. Every time I look at Liam Delap, he looks like a builder who just put on boots, football boots, put on the Chelsea kit, and he's there just playing football, acting like he's actually a professional footballer. Every single time I look at Liam Delap, he doesn't look like a professional footballer. I'm sorry, we just have to call it for what it is. It's true. But yeah, back to what I was saying, right? So the season ends, we win the club work. Before we even rocked up at the Club World Cup, they got Liam Delap, right? Midway through the Club World Cup, we get Joao Pedro. Joao Pedro's been the only good signing this season. Let's be honest. The only good signing that this regime made after qualifying for the Champions League, winning the Club World Cup, winning the Conference League, is Joao Pedro. The rest, bang average. Either they bang average, can't stay fit, or you never see them. You literally never see them. This regime is known for buying players who you can't stay fit. Lavia, 3 years in, he can't stay fit. 3 years in, he's still struggling to play a 90-minute football. Still struggling to complete a 90-minute game at Chelsea Football Club. Unimaginable. You can't even think of, like, how can you spend 45 million on a player who's always in the treatment table? But yeah, back to what I was saying. Yeah, so they get rid of Madueke. They obviously they couldn't agree a contract with Jadon Sancho, so they let him go as well. And who do they replace him? They bring on Jamie Gittins, yeah, who lost his place, who played a very good, decent first half of season at Dortmund, and then the managers get changed, and then he end up the second part of the season, he's spending mostly on the bench, right? So that's the guy that they bring in after you win the Club World Cup, right? To reinforce this team, right? We should have been challenging for the league this season, right? Instead, they bring us Jamie Gittins, and guess who else they bring us? Yeah? They bring Alejandro Garnacho. Alejandro Garnacho. That's who they bring. One of the worst wingers I've ever seen in my life. Alejandro Garnacho. Don't even get me started with this guy. Every single football fan in this country know that the guy is bang average, and he believes in his hype. He thinks he's fucking Cristiano Ronaldo with his I don't know what hairstyle he is, whether he's fucking blonde or he just painting blonde. I don't know what the fuck he is, but all I know is that the brother is shit. He's shit. Let's just call it for what he is. He's equally as shit as Dela. Anytime we're playing with those two, it's like you're playing with two less men. I'm sorry. That's just the truth. But this is the problem with this regime, right? And apparently the head of the sporting director was the one who wanted Alejandro Garnacho, right? So, fast forward. Just after that, we're getting ready for the season. By the way, we didn't have preseason, right? Mind you, we finished the Club World Cup. These players had, I think, about 2 to 3 weeks holiday, and then they came back, right? We had 2 games to play, 2 prep games. One was on a Friday against, if I remember correctly, against Bayern Leverkusen, and then the other one was on the Sunday. And then the following week, we had to start the league against Crystal Palace. This is a team that played more than 60 games the previous season. Only PSG played similar numbers, and even PSG, we played more games than them, right? So you will think that reinforcement will be needed because these guys have been playing for basically 2 seasons straight, right? So what do? They go and get Dario Esugo, right? To help Caicedo, 60 games. Dario Esugo, first part of the season, been injured. Like I said, all they buy is injured. Data driven, yeah? Always buying fucking injured players. How you're data driven, right? How your policy is about data driven, and all the players that you buy can't stay fit. You come to this regime, right? You come to this football club. There was a medical team that was functioning perfectly fine, right? They get rid of him. So what do you see? Players dropping, hamstring, left, right, and center, right? So before we even go to the Crystal Palace game, Levi Colwill, our best centre back, gets injured. He gets injured, ACL, and you know what ACL, right? Sometimes you don't even come back. You probably come back to your level a year after after that injury, right? So what happened? Our best centre-back is injured for basically 90% of the season. Liverpool still hasn't played. He's back. He's back. He's training with the first team, but he's still not ready yet, right? So what does Maresca say? Maresca said, I think we need a centre-back. Surely you're going to go and get him a centre-back, right? And mind you, at the same time, Arteta, who didn't even need a centre-back, they give him Nkiape and they give him Mosquera. Meanwhile, our directors, our brilliant directors, right? Data-driven fucking directors, yeah? Tell Maresca, oh no, work with what you have. You have Tosin, right? You struggle. Any ball over the top, he struggles, right? Any ball over the top in our defense, he can't deal with it. Same with Badiashile. On top of that, with Badiashile, he's barely fucking available, right? So you're left with Chalobah, yeah, who usually have one good game, 5 bad games, right? One good game, 5 bad games, right? But he's always available, right? But that's the kind of player that he is, right? And then the other defender available is a young academy graduate who graduated last season, got promoted to the first team in Josh Achimpong. That's what they given this Maresca to work with. And on top of that, after we won the Club World Cup, what do these directors do? They gave themselves pay rise. They gave themselves 60% pay rise, as you can see right here. 60% pay rise, yeah? Over people within the direction took 80% pay rise, yeah? What do Maresca get? Nothing. He doesn't get anything. He doesn't even get a contract renewal, right? These directors, not only they get pay rise, they extend their contracts. They extend their contract. While the manager was on the field, coaching these players, coaching these young players, yeah, that he's been given. He delivers 2 trophies and Champions League football. The first Champions League football that this regime qualified under. Because the first time we played Champions League football, Tuchel did the hard work, right? And then in that first season, after 6 games, they sacked Tuchel. So they didn't earn it, right? This is the first time that they've appointed a manager, and the manager go throughout the season, delivers Champions League. And what do they reward him with? Alejandro Garnacho, Jamie Gittins, Dario Esugo, Liam Delap. I mean, surely, if you're a manager, after all that good hard work, right, that you've done, you're gonna feel some type of way, because you're gonna feel like, oh, but these guys that I'm working with, they really don't appreciate me because I deliver all of this, yeah. And what do they give me? They don't give me anything to work with. So comes our usual Chelsea January. We struggle. Maresca can't see eye to eye with these guys. And you know what? At some point, when you're at work, it doesn't matter what work you're doing in life. If your bosses, yeah, are making your work life uncomfortable, yeah, unbearable, you're coming to work, you're unhappy, you're like the tools you've been given in, you're not satisfied with those tools, right? At some point, you're gonna be like, fuck it, I'm out. Fuck it. I don't care how much money you're paying me, but this job's not worth it. I'm not getting any joy out of this. So what's the point of staying? Maresca looked at the situation and realized, you know what? I don't really fucking need this in my life. I'm going to leave you with your mess, with your 5 sporting directors, data-driven motherfuckers, right? And I'm going to leave you here. Let's see how you get on. Maresca walked. They didn't sack him. He fucking walked. And I don't blame him for walking. So after all I've explained, can you really blame that manager for walking away from this job? So he walked away. You see, he had enough. You need to walk away. So he walked away. He walked away, and what do? Instead of going and get someone competent, yeah, they go and get Liam Rosenior. Don't get me wrong, Liam Rosenior, right? I'm pretty sure he's a good guy, but he was not qualified to begin with, right? That's why I said, yeah, they sacked him, but he's not really the problem. He is not really the problem, because Liam Rosenior, right? Management, right? His only experience as a manager was being an assistant to Wayne Rooney at Derby, and then he got another job at Hull City. He kept them up, yeah, and had a disagreement. When he kept Hull City up in the Championship, he had a disagreement with the owner of Hull City, and then they parted ways. And after that, that's when Chelsea hired him. Chelsea hired him, gave him the job at Strasbourg, and in his first season, he delivered Conference League football, right? So a manager that is still learning, working with a very young group of Strasbourg. Imagine, right? If Chelsea is young, Strasbourg is way younger than us. Strasbourg got players that they're like 16, 17, right? Players like BlueCo, yeah? Players like Galadoué, players that are super young. Players like Diego Moreira, really young but really talented. But he was working really well with them. Decently. You can say decent, because if you look at the talent that, like I said, if you look at the talent that Strasbourg have, they should be competing for the 4th position in Liga. Because I watch Liga, and I'm telling you, Strasbourg should be, if Strasbourg are doing well, they should be 4th in Liga. Because the talent, yeah, they're young, but the talent that they have, there's many teams in Liga who don't have that. We get the PSG, the Marseille, sometimes Lyon, when Lyon wants it, and then this season, Lens is thinking, in good form, competing for the league. I don't think they're gonna win the league, but you get my point, right? Strasbourg, with the players that we have, think about this: any players that Chelsea buys that's too young, they ship him to Strasbourg. Amogu comes in here, not good enough, ship him to Strasbourg, right? Diego Moreira comes in here, do a pre-season with Chelsea, not good enough, ship him to Strasbourg. But these players are good enough to play for Strasbourg, right? So what do? They are Strasbourg, learning their trade, and then they promise them that you can, if you do well, in instance in BlueCo, they will bring you to Chelsea Football Club, which is the parent club. So it's like the big brother, right? And you got Strasbourg, the little brother, right here, right? So they tell you, if you do well at Strasbourg, we're gonna take you to the big brother company, right? Back to Liam Rosenior. He was doing pretty decent at Strasbourg, learning his way because he's a young manager, learning his coaching tactics, learning everything, right? So what do? They make Maresca's life unbearable. He walked. And what do they do? Instead of going and finding another manager, right, and bringing it to this football club. At the time, De Zerbi there was a friction with De Zerbi and Marseille. If Egbali loves De Zerbi so much, instead of going and getting him, no, they went and disturbed Strasbourg, who a lot of players like Liam Rosenior, like the way they were working under Liam Rosenior, because they were both learning, but at the same time, they were getting pretty decent results. And they were always beating the Champions League position, which is 4th, 3rd and 4th, and then and 6th in Liga. No. So what do? Instead of going and disrupting another team that's not their team, they go and disrupt their own team. Smart sporting directors. That's how fucking smart they are, right? So they go and get this guy, Liam Rosenior, and then bring him to this football club, Chelsea Football Club. And when you bring someone, any manager, to this football club, Chelsea Football Club will quickly find you out, right? Whether you're good enough or not, we'll quickly find out. Because at Chelsea Football Club, let me tell you something. These directors, they can say whatever the fuck they want. They can bring whatever the fucking manager that they want, yeah? One thing for sure, two things for certain is, if you bring a manager that's not good enough here, it will end up like Graham Potter, it will end up like Liam Rosenior. They will not last here. It doesn't matter what your fucking data-driven policy is. I'm swearing today because I'm angry. I'm not angry at Liam Rosenior because I know it's not his fault. I know there's some imbeciles on top of him, yeah, making these decisions, which are these 5 guys that I'm showing you, right? These 5 guys that I'm showing you, they are running this football club. Any normal football club, yeah, will have probably 1 sporting director, maybe 2 at most. 2. You see at PSG, they got Campos, and then he's working tightly with what's his name, Luis Enrique, right? You look at Real Madrid, same thing. You look at Pep, when he came in with his own sporting director, right? You look at Arteta, same thing, working with his sporting directors, right? Another one, Aston Villa. You got Monchi always working with Unai Emery because they know each other. So sporting directors, right, and managers should be going hand in hand, right? Hand in hand. These guys should know each other. They should be a trust. But if there's no trust between the sporting director, right, the guy that's buying the players, and this guy that's coaching the players, how the fuck are you gonna make this work? How the fuck are you gonna make this work? Me, armchair fan, I know this. And yet, there was a group of fans that went and had a meeting with the sporting directors. And what do these sporting directors say? Oh, they say, oh, the manager's not that important. We are important. We feel like what we doing here, yeah, the manager is just gonna be a guy a little guy that we just I'm guessing a mannequin that they're just gonna put there so he can coach these players, yeah. But we get to choose these players. How the fuck are you gonna make that work? 4 years in, that's why 4 years in, 1 billion. I just showed you this. I'm gonna show it to you again. 600 million in players, 600 plus in players. None of them have worked. None of them have worked. They come here, they get shipped away. None of them have worked, and none of them will work. They're going to keep doing this until there's no more money left to spend. Yeah? And they're going to leave us with this mess. Because for me, honestly speaking, I don't think these sporting directors give a fuck about Chelsea Football Club. I think they're here for the money. I think they're here for themselves. Yeah? And my thing is with Egbali, I don't know where you make your money. Where did you make your money? How did you become so rich? But how can you be so rich and so stupid at the same time? That's my question to you. Because even if you don't understand football, right? 4 years into this regime, right? You've hired these sporting directors. They've been running this football club. They've handpicked 3 managers. And 3 of those managers, all different ages, when you think about it, right? All different ages. Mauricio Pochettino, different age bracket, right? Enzo Maresca, different age bracket, right? Liam Rosenior, different age bracket. All of these managers have come in here into this football club and were not able to work with these sporting directors. So clearly there's one fucking common denominator here, which is the sporting directors. These guys that are buying these shit players, yeah, and asking the managers to make them look like fucking CSF. We know where the problem is. We know where the problem is. That's my question to Egbali. Are you dumb enough to not see that these guys are here for the money? They're not here for the benefit of this football club. They've ruined this football club to the point where Neil Bath, the academy, the guy who used to manage the academy, brought guys like Mark Gay, who's playing at a high level at Manchester City these days, yeah? What's his name? Jamal Musiala, Olise. All of these guys came through this academy, Chelsea Academy. Rio Engomo, another one, came through this Chelsea Academy, right? So we had we Chelsea Football Club had one of the best academy, right? So what happened? When these guys came in, they wiped out everyone. Sacked everyone. Even the groundsman, they sacked him. To the point where Neil Bath, who was overseeing the whole thing, everything in the academy, yeah, realized, you know what? Well, my job is being ruined in here. And I'm not going to sit here while these lot tarnish my legacy here. So what does he do? He quit. He quit on them. He left them. He quit on them. So now, these sporting directors are running the whole fucking football club. They're running the whole football club. Joe Shield, who is one of the sporting directors, has got his minions all over the football club. They're everywhere in the football club. If you go in and watch this guy, it's his name, Kinet Academy. If you type Kinet Academy on Twitter, you will see there's a video of this guy right here explaining everything, how he got every single person that works in the academy, whether it's in the academy or in the first team, they're all connected to this guy. And if you do a deep dive, you'll realize most of the former Man City Academy graduates that we're buying, yeah, their agent are in cahoots with the same brother, which is Joe Shield, the same sporting director, right? So I told you, I don't believe that these guys care about this football club. I believe they're here for the money. I believe they're here to make money with them and their friends. And when the money is going to be dry and there's not going to be no money left to spend, they're going to just fuck off and leave us with the mess. And Egbali, the fucking idiot, will be here wondering, oh, what just happened? How can you have so much money and not being able to read that these guys are the problem, not the managers that you're sacking? And until that change, for me, it's BlueCo out. Like I said to you, I don't care who they replace Rosenior with, because it's the same fucking shit. It's the same 5 fucking musketeers, yeah? These 5 musketeers that are gonna pick the other managers that's gonna come in. And he's gonna come in, he's gonna do good, right? He's gonna probably win some. If he do good and he wins some trophies, he's gonna want a little bit more power. They're not gonna give it to him, and he's gonna walk, just like Mariska did. Arteta was a head coach at Arsenal, but after he delivered the first FA Cup, they promoted him. They promoted him, gave him more power. And as season goes, and he's delivering, whether he's gonna win a trophy this season or not, he made Arsenal better. Arsenal used to play in the Europa League, week in, week out, right? Arteta came in. You see now, 6 years on, they finished second 3 times. At least they're competing, right? At least they're getting somewhere, right? These guys, 4 years in, they've spent more money than Arteta has spent, and yet they're nowhere near competing. Nowhere near competing. We're not going to make Champions League this season because they sacked him and they gave some guy named fucking McFlurry the interim job, who is in cahoot with the same sporting director, Joe Shield. Like I said to you, this is an ongoing circus. And until BlueCo leave this fucking football club, we're not going to have our Chelsea back. Because clearly Egbali is dumb enough to let these guys choose the next manager after making 3 mistakes. You make 3 mistakes in any walk of life, in any work in life, right? You make three categorically big mistakes, yeah? In life, in any job, 3 big mistakes, like these sporting directors, yeah? You get sacked. 2 mistakes, you get sacked. Let alone 3 mistakes. They brought 3 different fucking managers and it hasn't worked. What more do you want me to tell you? What more do you want me to tell you? That this is not going to work. It's not going to work. Tomorrow we're going to play against Leeds. We're probably not going to beat these guys. Yeah, I get it. The players down because they didn't like Liam Rosenior. But it's not Liam Rosenior's fault. It's not Liam Rosenior's fault. There's 5 bigger bastards, yeah, that are making these decisions. And as long as they are here, we're still going to have these same issues at this football club. I'm glad that I grew up watching my team winning the Premier League, winning the Champions League. I'm glad I've got to witness it. Because, honestly, I don't think we're going to get anywhere near those levels with these guys, the way this football club is run. The way that Egbali is letting these guys run this football club, yeah, they're going to run into the ground rather than up. It's going down rather than up. We're going to be close. Every single season, we're going to be closer to the championship than the Premier League. We're not going to compete. We can't compete because we've got incapable people running the ship. If you've got incapable people running the ship, it's never going to work. It's never going to work. That's just the truth. We're gonna play against Leeds tomorrow, and Leeds are way more organized. Yeah, they're more solid. They have more fight than us. Yeah, and then we're probably gonna play good game, and then we're gonna need some reinforcement coming off the bench, and we're gonna look on the bench, and you're gonna see Liam Delap in there because Cole Palmer and Joao Pedro are back. You're gonna see Liam Delap in there, and you're gonna see Garnacho in there. So if you need help, those 2 can't help you. They're actually playing against you more rather than helping you. And who bought them? It's the same fucking sporting directors. Gittins, he can't stay fucking fit. Some say he's out for the rest of the season. The guy is rubbish anyways. Rubbish. People making excuses for these guys. Fuck off, man. Seriously, fuck off. If you can't stay fit, don't tell me about your ability, bro. Don't tell me about your ability, because I ain't seen it. You can't even fucking stay fit. So what is there for me to look forward to? That's the problem with this football club. And I told you, as long as these guys are here, we're not going to move forward. They're not going to... Xabi Alonso is available. They're not going to go... They're not going to go to him. And even if they go to him, Xabi Alonso is going to need some serious assurance before he walk into this mess. Because, let me tell you something. Chelsea Football Club used to be one of those football clubs where a managers get the job there, yeah, and your stocks rise. Your stock go up, yeah? Your clout go up. Even if you get sacked, your clout go up. You get sacked, you go get a Real Madrid job, like back in the days with Jose Mourinho. You get sacked, you get a job, you get a big job at Inter Milan. You get sacked. That's how it used to be. That's how this football club used to be. But now, these managers, they come in, they get sacked. And whatever you did good, you're going back down. You're going back down and then grind it all the way back up. All the way back up. Your stock doesn't go high up now when you come and manage this football club. Because everyone and their mama knows that this is the whole fucking mess. 1.5 billion spent and you can't compete. You got these sporting directors running the shit, sacking managers, cherry-picking managers, telling you they have their special journalists, like guys like Matlow, fucking liars, running around lying for living. Yeah, they have these guys. Any sort of PR that they need, they're gonna drip feed these guys, and then these guys they're gonna post it out there, acting like we're fucking stupid enough to believe your shit at this point. At this point, you're insulting our intelligence, thinking that we're going to believe your crap. They saying, oh, we're going to buy ready-made players this season. Really? Are you going to buy ready-made players come summer? I don't fucking believe that. I'll believe it when I see it with my own fucking eyes. Do you really think we need a proper midfielder next to Caicedo? Do you really think they're going to go and get someone like a Guimaraes? Someone that will elevate us? Do you really think they're going to do that? They're not going to fucking do that. Even with our Champions League, if you put the right money, Bruno Guimaraes will come to the Chelsea Football Club, right? They're not going to fucking do that. They're going to go get some fucking lambda midfielder, put him next to Caicedo, and the guy plays 2 months and get fucking injured. That's how these sporting directors run this shit. And as long as they're here, as long as BlueCo is here, we're not going to move forward, guys. We're not going to move forward. There's nothing to look forward to. That's why I'm not even excited to come here and then tell you that we're going to talk about Chelsea Football Club. It fucking bores me, man. It bores me. It irritates me. When I see what they did to my football club in the space of 4 years, and these guys were telling me, giving me hope, telling me, no, we're not going to do the hiring and the firing. We're going to do data-driven. This is going to be a data-driven policy. We're going to buy the best young players. Here we are. Here we are, bruv. 4 years in, we got Garnacho, bruv. We got Garnacho running on the wing, bruv. We got Delap, bruv, with trampoline touch, bruv, trying to control the ball. Yeah? We got Delap trying to chest the fucking ball, bruv. That's the kind of guys that we got. How do you want me to believe in this shit? How do you want any Chelsea fans to believe in this? At this point, we know it. That's why BlueCo out, the message, we're going to keep that thing going. Because these guys, they're just ruining this football club. And before you know, if this thing continues, we're going to end up in the championship. We're going to be battling, just like Spurs is battling to stay in the league. We're going to be in that same situation. Hire the wrong manager again, and I promise you, we could be in the championship by the end of next season. And I told you this after the Man United game. The Man United game, you saw it. We could have played there. We could have played there for another 2 days and we wouldn't score because Delap was up top. Delap up top, like I told you. Whenever I see this brother, I miss Jackson. It tells me how much I underappreciated Jackson. Jackson, who loved his second name is missing chances. Yet when I see Delap, I wish I had Jackson here. That just shows you this is not gonna work. I'll do a little video tomorrow after the game. And then we're going to talk about the Champions League, the real stuff. Because we haven't talked about the Champions League since the quarterfinal finish. So we're going to talk about it. But yeah, until then, guys, please like and subscribe. Please like and subscribe. Please.